Doom's been in the MCU since at least since Captain America Winter Soldier. I said that he's been in there since at least Iron Man 2.
Discovery, throttle up.
Lift off and the clock has started.
Welcome back. It's been a long time, but this is not your regular episode of the Potluck. This is something new, something different, and something fresh. Roll intro music.
Well, anyway, I'm not rolling the intro music again. So, what are we talking about on this first edition of Potluck Focus, my friend?
Well, so first we got to talk about what the Potluck Focus is. It's gonna be shorter segments where we talk about one thing. We'll try to talk about one thing. You won't get your side segments.
Nope.
You won't get your flame 'em ups.
No,
none
you
of
won't.
that. No theories. I mean, you might get some theories, but it'll be a theory.
You'll get some theories.
Yeah, but it'll be a theory. We're gonna keep it down to one specifically.
You know,
that
you can't
way.
let you have no joy, not on this channel.
Well, I mean, you have joy. It's just a different kind of joy. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. But so this episode of the Focus, we're going to be talking about Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Iron Man.
Boo.
And yes, I boo wholeheartedly to
Is it
that.
Iron Man or Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom. That's Dr. Doom. Yeah, he should only be Iron Man. That's the fucking problem. Just see, Robert Downey Jr., the next words in my brain follow Iron Man.
Well, what about that one storyline where Tony Stark is Dr. Doom?
I hope that's it, because the real Doom kills him at the end. That's how that storyline is. The real Doom shows up, kills him, and so there's only one Doom, and kills him because he runs his mouth too damn much.
Then he drops the coldest mixtape of all time with Mad Lib.
But the thing about the MCU and Marvel fans is, with a lot of fans, Marvel fans don't read comic books. Most of the MCU fans don't read the comic books.
Oh,
so they're
no, absolutely not.
If they have him go the jokey, quippy way, we'll never see another Doom project ever.
As far as the Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Doom,
as a Doom, period. We won't see another Doom, because he'll ruin that character. And we've seen in the past that once someone fucks a character from Marvel, they scrap him completely. They don't bring him back. Like, it's worse than the Void, because even in the Void you might get a Deadpool cameo, but like, if Marvel is done with you as a character, forget about it. Or if you're done as an actor, forget about it. And I don't hope he doesn't do that. The only thing that is maybe a possibility, because he was in Oppenheimer,
yeah,
and he did play the scientist op, which is Dr. Doom's whole thing, where he's like, I'm the better scientist, look what I can do. And that was that whole guy's thing in that movie. But I don't know. And it's one of those things where it's like, you have $1 billion, really almost $1 trillion franchise, and you got Disney money backing you up. Another big B's, not like single digit B's, but like, once again, knocking up on that $1 trillion mark. If not, might be $1 trillion company. Who knows? I haven't checked into it, so it fucking could be. But you have all these resources to do anything, to cast anybody, a wide net of people, but you go back to your same toy box because it's safe.
I mean, yeah, they can't really be taking too many risks. They don't want to fuck around and have another Jonathan Major situation. I mean, that's where they're coming from anyway.
That can't be your rationale to never cast anybody new. And if that's your case, then hang up your franchise and just start doing just what ifs. Just make What If the cartoon, make it live action, and if that's what you're gonna do, if you're too afraid, because not even one bad egg, one dude who had like an interesting set of circumstance befall him, and like I'm not trying to take away from what happened. I'm never gonna say that victim blame or not credit to what happened to her. I'm just saying
that was a very diplomatic sentence.
It was very interesting how things played out. When brother was like, I need you to be like Coretta, I was like, nigga, you lost it. That's where you lost. There was no black jury gonna have your back after hearing that shit, bro. You asked a white woman to be like Coretta Scott King. That's crazy. that's lunacy. That was one of the things he told her in like the interview that came out. It was like he was like talking to her and like he was intense. He was like, I need you. You gotta be my rider. You gotta be with me. You gotta be like Coretta because they coming after me. They want me. You know, they trying to get them in my head. I was like, bro, you've had a good show that most people haven't seen, and one good movie, and that was Michael B. Jordan's movie.
I was about to say, I know you ain't talking about motherfucking. I mean, he's in the worst Ant-Man.
Ooh, you know what's crazy? That's not the worst Ant-Man.
I'm sorry.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is a worse Ant-Man than Quantumania.
I'll go see Ant-Man and the Wasp again. I ain't trying to see Quantumania no more.
You know why Ant-Man and the Wasp is worse than that? And has nothing to do with the movies themselves. It's where Ant-Man and the Wasp fell in the MCU movie release date timeline.
I mean, yeah, it was a bad time to release that movie, but I'd much rather watch that movie. It was a
bad time to release any Marvel movie, and that was really the beginning of them. We're just pumping shit out so we make money. And why in the world do we give a fuck about Ant-Man city, maybe state level threat?
Oh, you're right. That's true.
We just watched,
That's true. But this
Thanos
is also true.
When
I went to see Ant-Man and Wasp for the first time after I left, I was like, you know what? That was cool. That was a movie. Some shit happened. All right, whatever. I don't really give a fuck about the overarching March story at that point. I don't really give a fuck anyway. When I went to see Ant-Man Quantumania, I was actually pissed that not only did I go see this movie, I paid for my ticket and my cousin's ticket. I was mad twice. I was like, wow, this sucked to such a degree that I would have rather thrown this money into a fire pit than sit here and watch this.
Fire pit.
Yeah.
Now, see, but I guess because I also like, whenever I see a movie that's one, that cut to hell, and two, that seems like it has two different stories going on, I'm always like,
Oh, I ain't say Ant-Man Wasp was good. I wouldn't call it good.
No, I'm talking about Quantumania. I'm talking about Quantumania. I was like, there was clearly a different plot going on with. Oh, excuse me. That was one of them real burps. That wasn't one of those TV burps. That wasn't a burp machine. That was authentic. You can smell that. For the people that aren't watching, stay tuned. But with Ant-Man and Kang in that movie, there's clearly like another plot going on that they just annexed halfway through the movie, but kept the last bit of it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. When I was watching that movie, I was like, I bet there's a good movie in here. Just like I bet there's a good movie in there for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom.
I don't disagree with you. And like the optimist in me and like the writer in me is like, oh, I know how we could make it good, but will Marvel actually do that?
Yeah, and that's where the I know what I've been seeing in me comes out. And I'm like, yeah, it could be fire, but I could have been 6 feet tall, but alas,
I use those inches elsewhere. You know what I mean? But I think it's crazy with because what they have to do, because they've already said Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in the Fantastic Four movie, which is in an Elseworlds 50s universe in a la the Jetsons. A completely different universe, different timeline.
Are you saying that so that if this movie goes bunkus, that they could just be like, oh, well, none of that shit mattered? Is that what you're saying?
I honestly, because what I think is going to happen with this movie, from what we've gotten about the Fantastic Four, is that it's not going to be an origin story, although we're going to get clips from beginnings of them. We're going to pick up with them all with their powers established. And I think the whole thing is going to be a family story where it's just them doing their day-to-day lives, a couple saves here or there, some stuff like that. But halfway to 3/4 of the way through, Galactus is going to show up. But I don't think it's going to be Galactus. I think it's going to be Gallon. And this is deep. This is a deep cut for the nerds. Y'all gotta hang in with me. You're getting deep with them. But
I'm sorry. What's his name?
Gallon. So Galactus, the entity that, yes, like Gallant without the T. Yes. Yes, that's exactly it. So Galactus is from a previous universe that was annihilated and he survived, but before that he was Gallon. And when he came over, because he was from a previous universe, when he came into ours, he became kind of a primordial force.
Okay.
Where remember the Fantastic Four, the second one where Galactus was a cloud.
You talking about the Silver Surfer one? Or,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Galactus was just a big ass cloud.
Yeah.
So although that's terrible depiction of him, it's not inaccurate to his origins because Galactus was just the embodiment of
So are you trying to
death.
say that they were just so ahead of their time that we couldn't understand?
No, I think that someone read a bunch of Fantastic Four stuff and then cherry picked the stuff they liked from them and didn't make a cohesive movie for that one. But so Galactus comes to our universe and then he, gets physical form. But even his physical form, it only looks like what is comprehensible to the intelligent life that's around it.
Yeah.
So Galactus will look different on different planets.
Okay.
And that's why he has like a human face and like a human build to us because we're humans. But like on the planet or wherever, bro with the knockoff Thor with the horse face.
Thor at home? Yeah.
He'd have a horse face to them people.
Horse Galactus.
And kind of like how Darkseid is
Galactus.
We don't have time to get into Darkseid. I gotta focus up. It's a focus.
Galactus.
But, so I think for that Fantastic Four movie, I think what we're gonna see is Gallon and their universe is gonna get destroyed, and through some sort of mystical portal or dimension hopping, we may or may not see the Council of Reeds in that movie. So if we do, it could easily be a dimension hopping thing where they hop into the 616 where there isn't a Reed Richards, and that's how they would bring Doom to, because Doom is already confirmed for that movie as one of the villains. So Doom's would come with them through them shenanigans. Could be a Doom portal, could be the Council of Dooms, which could be how they're gonna undo the Council of Kang thing. Love Marvel, but sometimes their like ideas are just bankrupt because there's so many fucking. Once we get to the multiverse and you're smart, you better believe there's a council of other smart people of you. And that's what Rick and Morty makes fun of.
Council of them niggas.
Yeah, the Council of Ricks is making really fun of the Council of Reeds is what they're making fun of, and that they are at the end of the day ineffectual because they're all a bunch of smart people that think they're the smartest, so they don't really get a whole lot done, even though the comic books will say they do, which they really don't. But to say all of this as convoluted as this sound, that would be what they'd have to do to make Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom into the MCU's Doom. And it's so many fucking hoops, I can't see them going past doing that Fantastic Four movie and then Avengers Doomsday and then the Avengers Secret War. I can't see them continuing him on past that point. And I don't know.
I mean, they could do it. They could stick the landing. But they, like you said, it would do a lot, but they would have to take their time with it.
In like 3 movies is not a lot of time to do this. And it's not a lot of time to do it in the way if they want Doom to be a long-lasting character and not be just another one movie killer. Because that's Marvel's biggest problem too, is they keep killing off their best villains and not bringing them back. Because the thing with Ultron, that shit pissed me off. I'm like, what do you mean you wiped him off of every trace of the internet?
The age of 3 days.
The internet. What do you mean? The internet. You mean the entire global, ever-expanding, infinite space? No.
Expanding without Ultron.
There's no way. There's no way. You easily could have brought back Ultron, killed him off. The only one they haven't killed off, except for, I guess they've written him out in a way, is Loki. They kept bringing him back until the last season of Loki 2, where they've turned him to the god of stories, where he's weaving all of the multiverse shit together.
He's chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling. Great ending to a show. Like, that's the thing with Marvel, too. They stick the landing sometimes, but then it's like... And it could be... I watched the interview with Kevin Feige talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, why it was successful. He was like, because we stopped diverting all of our resources everywhere. And it's like, duh, motherfucker. We've been telling y'all that for years
That
now.
has literally never worked.
It never works for any company where it's like, even Fox...
When you start doing too much, that's when shit starts hitting the fan.
Like, even Fox Studios, before they got bought by Marvel, they had Fox movies where they give you maybe 3 movies a year, maybe. But those are all different genres, different writers, different ways to divert your funds. And then TV shows. And then their news kept that shit very separate. And like what they had, they didn't introduce something new every other month. or have a new movie coming out cyclically, and like it's one of those kind of feast and famine things too, where it's like you can't really be mad because they gave you 20 movies in 10 years and 6 of them were bangers. I mean, for most studios, they can't say they gave you 6 banger movies in 10 years.
No, well, then again, most studios are also not dealing with the budget to even fathom making enough movies to even, one, have that ratio. They could not have that ratio and stay afloat, most studios.
No.
As far as like banger to not banger. Because like usually, cause there are people who can make good movies without missing, but those people also take, one, they either take longer to make the movie, or B, there's certain constraints that lead to creativity that make these movies great, because unlimited budgets in most cases don't actually end up being good.
That's a good ass point, because most times when you see someone that's got infinite budget, that movie is garbage, because they're like
budget, infinite time, like they just be doing whatever.
They just do whatever, and it ends up being too much. And like the best movies and the ones that people talk about for generations were low budget movies. First Terminator was a shoestring budget. I think they were like under $1 million when they made the first Terminator. The first Saw movie that started the Saw franchise was 2 college dudes that shot in a bathroom because that's all they could afford.
I mean, limitation is what really breeds creativity in most cases, and it's the case with making things. It's the case with like games. If without the rules, you can't show how creative you are, and you can't know what's even cool, because if you can do anything, nothing is cool. But if you can make some shit shake within the confines of those limitations, that's when something becomes cool.
I don't know if you realize you just did a little bit of Alan Rand right there.
What?
Atlas Shrugs. it's a communist manifesto, but it's okay. It's actually what, this is completely off tangent, but the Invincibles, not the Invincibles, the Incredibles, their whole movie is essentially Atlas Shrugged, where if everyone is special, then no one is special, and that's the whole like plot of that. And it's interesting that Disney will like every now and then just drops like communism right on your face, and it's like, is communism inherently bad? No, but being an American, that's worse than saying like evil. That's every slur wrapped up in all in one for Americans.
You know what's funny about that? That is right on the money. Like, I've been called a communist on the internet, just like that was the whole insult. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not inherently insulted by that, because I don't know what you mean by that. Why are you calling me this? Because I share with the homies. I'm not gonna stop sharing with the homies.
I love the bros. I always share with the bros. If I got it, the guys got it.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a good person. I'm trying to say to you, guy. That's such a weird concept, man.
But the casting of a movie is very important, and as you say, with Robert Downey Jr., the only reason people think is that this is bad. It's not because they don't think Robert Downey Jr. could do it.
I don't.
For all we know, well, I mean, you know, but you may not think that. But for most people, they think he'll be fine. Most people want to see more of RDJ. The problem is, there's a reason we want to see him. And it wasn't because he was doomed. It was because he was flying around in his metal suit, being a rich asshole, and saving the world with the bros.
With the AC/DC. Every time he flew in playing some AC/DC, I was hyped. And even to this day, when he pulled up in Avengers and he hijacked the PA system, shut the damn! I'm like, yeah, bro, that's heat. That's a heat intro. And like,
even when they were blue balling you all through Iron Man 3, it was cool all the way up until you realized you were being fooled again.
Yeah. Iron Man 3, man. You know what's funny? Thor broke the 3 movie curse, the 3rd movie curse of like the Marvel movies, because all of the 3rd Marvel movies just weren't good.
Yeah, he decided to do it in reverse.
No, because he did flop success, and then arguably the worst ones, Love and Thunder and Dark World, in my mind, are equally as terrible. And I truly couldn't tell you which one's worse between the two.
They sure are.
But Robert Downey Jr., I don't know. Doom he's not quippy. He's not a joke. He's not haha. He's not fun. He's a dictator. He's not necessarily evil, but he gonna do what the fuck he wants to do.
Are you saying he's a benevolent dictator?
I mean, again, going to the comic books, the goddess boss of Wakanda, when they went to the future, he determined that the only way to save the world is if Doom ruled the whole thing.
I'm about to mute this nigga.
So, I mean, I'm not saying it, but Marvel is. That's for sure.
This man said to save the world, I gotta be in charge.
No, real shit. And then Boss, who is literally the Black Panther who gets gets his magical powers from, is like, nah, he's right.
Hey, look, if the Black Panther said it's true, are you willing to say that he's wrong?
I mean, Latveria, although he is a dictator, everyone in Latveria is happy.
Benevolent dictator, bro.
Like, no one, they got the best education, free healthcare. Like,
bro.
Yeah, you might have to deal with, Ben Grin coming around throwing your car, but that's because technically Ben Grin's a terrorist in Latveria.
Whoops.
All of the Fantastic Four are.
Whoops.
It's, it was really crazy is when they let him have sovereign citizenship in America. That's what's really crazy. And Captain America has to escort him around so that the other superheroes don't beat his ass. That's the really crazy thing.
See, now if we could get a movie of that, could you imagine Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom in a movie where he can't be touched?
Oh man. See, but the arrogance part, he can do the arrogance, but
that's how people want, bro.
No, because that's not
the people want arrogant Robert, and the people want Blade as Wesley Snipes. The people want
the people things. Are wrong, and every time that the people are wrong, and we don't give them what they want but what they need, they're so happy. The people are fucking wrong. We were like, oh, we don't want to see Captain America with the fish scales on his suit. That'll look goofy. Then they got comic book Captain America has it looks like fish scales.
Yeah,
I know
what you're talking about.
But the MCU was afraid of that for years. You didn't get the fish scales until I think Endgame. No, Infinity Wars when you no, because he was still Nomad in Infinity War. You didn't get the fish scales till Endgame.
They looked
heat.
They were hanging out with the bro
fans
that
was wrong. It was heat.
What's his Kevin? What's his face?
Not Kevin James. Kevin Smith.
No. That
Kevin Feige.
Different Kevin. His name might even be Kevin.
Kevin
The dude
Durant.
that made no, absolutely not. No, it's not him. The dude that made the X-Men movies. Isn't his name Kevin?
No. The
Kyle.
Kevin
Singer. I don't know. That's his last name.
Yeah, Brian Singer. There you go. You got it. Yes. Ooh, yeah. We don't endorse or support any of the things Brian Singer did. All outside of the movies.
I mean, I don't know what he did. I barely support the movies.
We don't stand with Brian Singer as a studio, as a company, as a podcast. We don't stand with Brian Singer.
Well, going forward, I was going to say that one of the other bad decisions he made was people wanted to see the original X-Men suits. I ain't gonna lie to you. Back in 2000, whatever the fuck, I was not one of those people. But people did.
Sure, you were. Did you like Spider-Man?
I never liked Wolverine's original suit. I still don't. So
I'll say about
not the brown one, the yellow one. I don't like that one. Never did. Still don't.
So what I'll say about the yellow and blue suit is that it's iconic, but it's not truly iconic for our generation. Our generation, we grew up on the brown and yellow suit, or we grew up. That one either. But that was because that was X-Men Evolution. He had the brown and yellow suit. Or we had Jacket Wolverine.
Yeah, I do like Jacket Wolverine. Like in Wolverine's Revenge, I'm always rocking the jacket as soon as possible. I'll throw on a tank top.
Leather jacket with the fur on the inside.
I ain't even gonna fuck with you. As far as Wolverine goes specifically, I actually did like the Bryan Singer suit. I was like, no, that's all right. That's fine.
The leather joint, the all leather joint.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone all leather. I like the idea behind it.
Like I don't know. I had feelings about the leather. I'm like, you can't tell me y'all moving like this in leather.
I wouldn't have gone 100% leather, but the idea behind it, like get the black joint, get some stealth noirs X-Men going. I'm like, yeah, that was probably poor.
Nah, I mean the leather was bad. I mean, and like the thing with the X-Men too is that Bryan Singer understood the assignment, but he didn't get a good grade on it. and it has to do with it has to do with one, how he treats his co-stars or his actors rather.
He kept the boat up.
Two, how he cast and portrayed a lot of people, and it's a lot to do with how he really dogged Scott Summers, Cyclops.
That's my favorite X-Men. You don't gotta tell me.
He turned him to a cuck. He made him a cuck through all 3 movies.
I remember I was watching with my dad, and I was super excited. He was like, "Hey, you trying to watch X-Men?" I was like, "Hell yeah, Dad!" So I pull up. I'm excited as shit because like I'm about to watch my boy Cyclops do the thing. Watch the movie. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" Like, who's this dude? That's not Cyclops. It's what motherfucker that look like.
It's just some dude. It don't even really look like him either. Like, truthfully,
he got
5-minute warning.
He got glasses on.
I mean, he got the glasses on. He got the visor.
He white
and he's white. Yeah, but like
brown hair. We almost there.
What's crazy? If it wasn't for X-Men '97, we never would have got a cool Cyclops.
Not again.
Like not in live action.
Well, I mean, we still didn't, did we?
Well, I mean that's true. I mean, I guess I've
always liked that.
Not live action, but I guess in even like in cinema and like viewing outside of the comic book panels.
I like the original animated series Cyclops.
Yeah, but that was like 96. So like, I mean, like
you said never.
Technically, that wasn't our Cyclops. I mean, like our Cyclops.
That's the Cyclops I know.
That's the Cyclops I know. That's the Wolverine I know. But
that's why I was hyped to see that.
Truly, our X-Men was either the movies or it was X-Men Evolution. That was our X-Men. And X-Men Evolution was heat.
They can suck trees and apples.
With Robert Downey Jr., but that shit was heat.
They can suck trees and apples.
Man, that was the true one of the best depiction of the X-Men because they were actually kids and not all grown ass.
Wait, what you talking about?
X-Men Evolution.
Oh yeah, I ain't see that. Well, I don't remember that.
It was the animated show. It was Rogue.
Wait a minute. What did Toad look like?
Oh God,
Did he actually look kind of froggy?
A little bit.
Nice.
A little bit.
What did Quicksilver look like? Silver and blue?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Because I fucked with Quicksilver.
Because Quicksilver, because he went back and forth. Sometimes he was with the good guys, sometimes with the Brotherhood. He went back and forth.
Be evil, be good.
Yeah, no. But that was a heat show, and like it was the best depiction because you got all of like the kids at school doing kid shit, and like, and Scott was a teenager, G was a teenager. The only adults there were like Mystique. Storm, Logan, and like the people that should be adults. Yes.
The people that was grown as fuck.
The grown ass adults. Yes. And we ain't gonna talk about the age gap with Wolverine and what he be doing these young people.
Yes, we are. Talk about it now.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, Professor Xavier's way worse.
We don't got time for this.
Professor Xavier is crazy.
We don't got time for that.
Anyways, back to Robert Downey Jr. There's 3 ways it goes. It completely flops.
Okay.
And it's not well received, and that ends up tanking that franchise. And that the next thing we'll see is that it becomes just Avengers 5 again. It drops. It'll happen exactly with Kang. How it was Avengers Kang Dynasty. How they just dropped that, and then it was Avengers 5, and now it's Avengers Doomsday. It'll become Avengers 5 again.
What's your prediction? What do you think will happen?
My prediction is that that Robert Downey Jr. doesn't make it out of the first 20 minutes of Avengers Secret Wars. That he will be doomed for the Fantastic Four movie and Avengers Doomsday. But Avengers Secret Wars, my prediction is that it's going to open up with a battle royale of Dooms.
Okay.
And it'll be a bunch of variants of Doom. And I don't know if you remember at the end of Ant-Man Quantumania how it was all them Kangs.
Oh, I remember.
They're going to take that scene. It's going to be a bunch of variants of Doom. And it's going to be a battle royale, and then there'll be one Doom left, and that'll be God Emperor Doom, and that'll be the real Doom for the MCU, who's always been there. And my dad, side note, had a great theory that he was like, Doom's been in the MCU since at least since Captain America: Winter Soldier. I said that he's been in there since at least Iron Man 2. And that when there's a blinking you miss it moment, gotta talk quick, where they show Africa, and one side that's like, this is clearly where Namor and Atlantis is, and then there was another blimp, and there was an island there, and I'm like, that could be Latveria, because Latveria is a European nation, and it would be somewhere off of the coast of between Africa and then somewhere in there, you know what I mean? And so that the RDoom has been in there pulling the strings, orchestrating things all along. Could even have him be the one that like really set Ultron loose in Age of Ultron. Could have been the one that was really putting like the poke on Namor to be like, hey, you gotta do something about these scientists. But really, he's just trying to get vibranium. Okay, could have been in the whole time. We got really into it. But so I think that from that the MCU already has a Doom. He's just in the background chilling, running Latveria. Could even have that kind of like Wakanda cloaking technology where it's like, no, we're just small third world country, and then you get past it and it's actually Latveria. And then you go from there, that Doom ends up being God Emperor Doom, and that's where Secret War, where we have all of the war, and you have everyone from the different sandboxes that Marvel is gonna like cherry pick what they want from all of the stuff of all the properties that they have now acquired. And my prediction is by that point, by Secret War, they will have figured out how to get the Hulk IP back under their umbrella, because I don't foresee them. I also think by that point, depending on how the rest of their movies and stuff go, they'll acquire Universal. Just Disney will just straight up acquire Universal, because they're not Universal, Sony, because they're going to be tired of playing this back and forth bullshit game with Spider-Man and then them ruining all of Spider-Man's cool villains. And I think Disney's just going to flat out buy them, so that'll be able to get. They're going to cherry pick. They'll take Venom. Won't take Tom Hardy, but they'll take Venom. They'll get Spider-Man back in their sandbox, and they maybe might grab Madam Web, maybe, depending on what they want to do with Tom Holland's origin story, like before Homecoming. They'll go ahead and grab. They already grabbed who they wanted from the Fox universe. They got X-23. They got Deadpool and Wolverine. They already got them back in their sandbox. And they have a little, like, a side sandbox of the Void where they could be like, if we want, we could go ahead and bring Gambit back onto here, and then whoever else we have in there, we could always just, like, throw them in for another cameo or something. And at that point, they'll also be getting Miles Morales over there. They may not acquire all of Sony, but they're going to get their IP back. I don't foresee Marvel and Disney just keep doing this step-parent shit with them. But at the end of the day, I think we'll get Robert Downey Jr. for Doom for 2 1/4 of a movie. Really, it'll really be 1 3/4 movie time total. That he'll be in a quarter of the event, the Fantastic Four movie. He'll be on all of Avengers Doomsday, and then he'll be in another quarter of maybe to 2/4 of Avengers Secret Wars.
Okay. What's really going to happen, though, is they're going to do all that shit, right? But when they get to the Council of Dooms, they're going to be going there, going to be sweeping through. There's going to be one of the Doomlings. He's going to be over on the stage giving a music performance. And that's going to be an MF Doom reference, and that's going to be the peak of the entire thing.
Man,
and there you go. That's focus. Bye.
That's heat. Oh, man.